Welcome to Brush Lettering Basic Strokes, the first in a three-part video series showing you how to draw beautiful brush letters using Sakura of America's koi coloring brush pens. My name is Erica Pinto and I'm a hand lettering artist from Toronto, Canada. In this video, I'll take you through the basic strokes used to form lowercase brush letters. The supplies I'll be using in this video are an assortment of koi coloring brush pens, the Brush Lettering Basic Strokes worksheets, which you can download at sakuraofamerica.com, and some sheets of tracing paper. Brush lettering is a form of calligraphy that uses brush pens in the place of the more traditional pen and nib. Brush pens are similar to markers, however they have a tapered, flexible tip. This allows you to create thin upstrokes, which are the strokes written in an upward motion, as well as thick downstrokes, which are the ones written in a downward motion. Holding the pen at an angle to the page, I'll start by creating thin upstrokes by moving the pen gently across the page with very little pressure on the tip. To create thick downstrokes, I apply more pressure on the pen so that the tip bends and the lines thicken. Creating thin and thick lines with consistent proportions takes time, but the more you practice, the easier it will get. So let's get started with the basic strokes. I'll demonstrate a few examples of each stroke in real time so you can see how slowly I move with the pen. The entrance or exit stroke is simply a thin upstroke. I've placed my tracing paper over my worksheet and I'm going to start at the baseline, which is the solid line at the bottom, and create a thin, slightly curved line. Make sure you are holding your pen at an angle to the page, not perpendicular to it, and move slowly to create nice, even strokes. You will use this stroke to start and end your letters. Next is the underturn. Starting at the dotted line, I'm going to apply full pressure to the pen and move downward so that I create a nice thick downstroke. As I move toward the bottom of this basic stroke, I gradually lighten the pressure on the pen and transition from a thick downstroke to a thin upstroke on the other side, again ending at the dotted line. The overturn is the opposite of an underturn in that we start by creating a thin upstroke and transition to a thick downstroke. As you round the curve at the top of this stroke, gradually increase the amount of pressure you exert on the pen so that you create a nice, smooth transition from thin to thick. A compound curve combines the overturn and underturn strokes. Starting at the baseline, draw a thin upstroke, gradually increase pressure as you round the top curve and draw a thick downstroke, then gradually decrease the pressure as you round the bottom curve and draw another thin upstroke. Again, make sure you take your time so that you create nice smooth transitions from thin to thick lines. Ovals are a bit tricky, especially when they're drawn on a slant. Starting on the top right side corresponding to the start of the red arrow, I'm going to draw a thin curved upstroke moving in a counterclockwise motion. This line transitions very quickly into a thick curved downstroke on the left-hand side. At the bottom of the oval, I gradually apply less pressure and move into a thin curved upstroke on the right side, joining the two ends together into one seamless shape. Ovals take time to perfect, so don't worry if they look a little misshapen at first. The more you practice this basic stroke, the better it will look. The reverse oval is drawn in a clockwise motion. Starting on the top left this time, I'm drawing a thin curved upstroke, transitioning into a thick curved downstroke, and again into a thin curved upstroke, and joining the two ends together. On page 2, you'll find 3 more strokes to practice. The first is the ascending stem loop, which is used for lowercase letters with an ascender, such as B or D. Starting at the dotted line, I'm going to draw a thin curved upstroke, gradually applying pressure as I round the top curve, and then move into a thick downstroke that goes all the way down to the baseline. The descending stem loop, which you'll find in lowercase letters such as G or Y, moves from thick to thin. Starting at the top solid line, I'm going to apply full pressure to the pen and draw a thick downstroke. As I approach the curve at the bottom, I apply less pressure and transition into a thin upstroke on the left-hand side, ending at the edge of that first thick downstroke. Finally, we have the full pressure stroke, which is used for the letter T. This is just a thick downstroke, so all I'm doing is starting at the very top, applying full pressure and moving the pen down to the baseline. Now that we've gone through the basic strokes, we're ready to get started on the alphabet. Check out the next two videos in this series, Brush Lettering Lowercase Alphabet Parts 1 and 2, and I'll show you how to combine the basic strokes to create a full lowercase alphabet.